The Project. Kuwait. Learn. Live.
Hey guys, we're talking about, is life fair or unfair? So of course here we're debating. I think life is unfair.
I think
Andy
it's
thinks
totally
it's
fair.
all fair. So if you really want to know about unfairness, join us and listen to this episode. I think that is going to help you understand, is life fair or unfair? That is the question.
And it's definitely not going to be a pretty picture from my perspective.
Neither from mine, but still.
I know, right? Yeah, we also get into fashionista.
That's right. Fashionistas. Yeah, and
okay.
bloggers,
all that.
how they make this money.
Hey, I still think it's not sustainable. They're out of the market in like 5 years.
Oh, I hope.
Let's hope our listeners disagree with that. And
I do.
I hope we get some traction just because I shit on a bunch of them. But guys, stick around, listen to this episode. I think you're going to love what we have to say. And you're definitely going to get into the little debate we had going on.
Yeah, that's right. Enjoy.
And if you have any questions, please DM us. And all of our contact info is in the show notes.
Yeah, that's good. We want some questions.
All this and more in today's episode.
We're recording, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
See, I have control
I see that.
over the record.
This has to change.
Right.
No man should be in control.
All right. Hey, that's me. That's sexist. There's supposed to be no
sexist.
sexism on this show.
It should be.
As my wife walks around with a feminist shirt, and she's like, no, I'm a feminist. But okay, but aren't you being sexist if you say you're a feminist?
You guys have repressed us for so many years. Why can't we be contradicting sometimes?
That's true. Hey, I don't choose sides because Haya will kill me.
Exactly.
So.
Hey, yeah? Oh my God. You married the right woman. Seriously. She'll put you in your
I
place.
can't get anything by her though.
You can.
It's tough.
Oh my
So
God.
all right. So what?
So I said I'm going to ask you
I know
questions.
what questions am I going to get? This is
So today I wanted to talk about sense of justice. Given that I teach and I have a clinic, I have a lot of people constantly ask me about sense of justice, especially clients. They have all these stories about how they feel unjust. So what do you think? Do you think life is
fair.
Do you think life is fair? Do you feel there is justice in the world?
Yeah, I think karma's a bitch.
But some people don't get the karma.
Yeah, that's true.
Why?
I think they don't get it now, but eventually it catches up
I'll be
to them.
dead by then.
No, but I honestly think eventually it catches up to them in some way, shape, or form, whether it's in this life or the next. Because
I opened this life.
I know, right? I know there are those people and you're like, son of a bitch, how is he still doing this?
Yeah.
And he's just a crappy person.
That's right.
But eventually I think it catches up to them. And I don't know. I mean, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Life's fair.
You
In my
think?
opinion, I think life is fair for the most part. There is justice in life. That's just my opinion.
It just comes some other time. I mean, but you get people saying it's so unfair that I have worked very hard. For example, someone that has worked very hard and they've done a lot of projects and done everything that the managers told them to do. And then they go for their evaluation and then they don't get the rate that they were expecting. But then someone else that steals other people's work or doesn't work loafs off.
Come on, we're in Kuwait. If you don't steal other people's work, then you're just not meant to be in Kuwait.
And then that person that you've helped put this project together, they get a good evaluation. It's a common thing, actually. A lot of cases that I see, oftentimes there is a sense of lack of justice, injustice. And then when people ask me that, is life fair? Life is not fair, though. I disagree with you.
You're the psychologist, not me.
Oh,
I'm just saying. Look,
I love the way I intimidate you.
I know this is
so
the hardest
intimidating.
because I can't pull crap out and just shovel it out because you'll catch me in it.
That's right.
But no, I mean, like for instance, my boss, he's a jerk. All right.
I hope he's not hearing this one.
If my boss were a jerk, let me rephrase that, and he wanted to treat me unfairly, which has happened in the past. Whatever. There are ways I can get back at him. I still have control over the reports he's going to present to management. I still have control over certain things that he can't do without me. So fairness will bite him in the ass, but I create it eventually. And I think everyone gets what they deserve.
And I think we were talking about this a little earlier, like at work where people like, you have to know the right people. I mean, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people say it's a concept in Kuwait. Actually, it's not only for Kuwait. I think all over the world is who you know and how
100%.
you know them in order for you to get. So you and I were talking about certain places where people we know and how they moved up to certain positions, and we know they're not qualified.
100%.
And I was like telling you, the idea is that some people, they don't move up to certain places because they don't know the right people. And that's unfair. Like we should all be evaluated according to our output. For example, we should all be given opportunity to climb up the ladder. And it's not fair that someone else, they know the boss or they've invited them to dinner or they become good friends with them, that they are able to get a promotion and I don't. But then on the other hand, I feel like whoever took the boss out to dinner and gave him gift, they were smart. That's intelligence.
They grease the wheels the right way.
Yeah, that's right. So
But
is that wrong?
let me flip
I don't
this
think
to you.
it's wrong.
Let me flip this to you. I work in performance management. Okay. So I get cases from engineers, from whatever. Oh, my boss did this, or my boss is that, or my boss is this. And when they come to me and they present their case, I'm like, okay, well, in your evaluation, did you mention the projects you had completed? Did you say, I completed it by this time, I did this, I did that? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, well, did you give specific dates? You know what I mean? Like the KPIs. I'm like, no, I didn't. Why didn't you do that? Because then your case is built up from your performance. You see what I'm saying? So that in itself should run the fairness, because it's like you have your legal and in the work environment where they're kind of the police to make sure that you do get what you deserve in your performance appraisal. But if you come to me and you don't have shit to go on, I'm like, why should I believe you? What do you? It's your word against your boss's word. That's it.
Right. I mean, it's true. And I think with those people, has their work environment been unfair? And then you get to all these people that they think everything in life is unfair. But to be honest, I mean, I don't think life was supposed to be fair. I mean, in my idea of like, growing up and from childhood, I didn't feel like life was fair. And even now, I feel like sometimes I see other people who have like advanced in many opportunities and they've been at work after me and they've gotten. And sometimes, yes, if I look at it as being unfair, and the reason why I don't choose to look at as unfair is because I feel like that it's going to bring a lot of negative feelings and a lot of resentment, and that might affect my performance at work. So I would rather just realize, how did they get to the way? I didn't evaluate them from my perception. I feel like it was unfair. And there are other people beside me that could have probably done better in this position, but that person was smart. I mean, we have to start realizing that there are people that are smarter than us and they're social intelligence and they know how to relate to other people and be able to get what they want. And sometimes it makes me mad, like not at work, like there are friends of mine or other people that have gotten somewhere in life and were the same age that I didn't yet. And I feel like I used to think, see, but then I realized really these people are more outgoing. Maybe they know how to market themselves. Maybe they have a lot of skills I don't have.
Yeah. Maybe they're just smarter in general.
Or maybe they are smarter.
I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's funny you bring that up because now I have a hole in your argument. Lottery winners.
Now that's luck.
Lottery winners, it's luck.
Yeah, it's true.
Is it fair or is it not fair to win the lottery?
No, it's fair. Let them win.
Let them win, right? It's totally luck. So someone could say, oh, it's not fair that I never
Maybe
win the
they've
lottery.
done something good and it's a reward.
But majority of lottery winners go broke after they win the lottery.
Because
no, but it's
do
like,
they really?
Yeah, it's an insane statistic. It's
First
like
of all,
80 or
90%
of them.
I don't want to win the lotto. Half of it goes to the government.
Yeah, but
for taxes.
If you won like $100 million, even if half of it went to the government, you're set for life.
But how could you really? Yeah, exactly. Set for life. See, that's what we think. They're set for life. So is it truth? How can they go broke?
Because
what are they doing? Traveling? Business
giving
and
money
first
to
class?
people,
giving money.
whatever.
Okay.
Like
what
a
else?
lot of them will give money to people. They'll blow through it. How many millionaires have you heard of that do piss through all their money and they're left with nothing and they're living with their parents again? It happens a lot.
Really?
It happens a lot. Oh, I got to find
Can
the
you
stat
imagine?
on this.
Now, these people can't say life is unfair. They're just stupid. I'm sorry. Like the first thing you should do, like I was telling one of my friends, she's a blogger. She does a lot of things, right? So I was saying to her, now that you're making all this money, the good thing to do is that you have to invest it. Or was I telling my son? Because we were talking about bloggers and people that are like artists. And I said, the best thing they need to do is like while you're young is to be able to get that money invested in something. Because like singers, artists, they're not going to sing forever. And they needed to, like in Hollywood, if you look at it, there are some artists are broke and other ones are really making good money, even though they're not performing as much because they've invested back. I'm still surprised. How could they if I win $500,000, now $1 million is not that much anymore.
$1 million is not anything anymore.
Yeah,
You
right,
got to
right.
win like 50 million.
Okay, so if I had 50 million, they didn't invest, they didn't buy properties.
But there are people that don't. They don't know any better. So they'll be like, all right, I'm going to give $1 million to my cousin or this. I'm going to
Are they
buy
serious?
crazy cars, crazy houses. And it's like
At
athletes.
least buy a house and pay it off.
But it's like pro football players.
Yeah, they're broke.
How many of these pros go broke because they don't know how to manage their money?
You
They
would
don't
think,
know what to do.
you would think a finance person comes into their life because once you win, you get bombarded by people that want to help you.
You get bombarded by more people that want to rob you. You know what I mean?
Geez.
You know what I mean? So like you'll get 1 out of every 10 that actually wants to help you. You know,
God.
If you really look at it, like we have a lot of sleazeballs in society.
It's true. That's very true.
It's funny because like when you look at these pro athletes and even movie stars, how fair is life? Because they're a movie star. They're at the pinnacle of anything in life, but yet they're depressed. They commit suicide.
Right.
They have all this shit that goes on in their life, and we're like, we look up to them. So I mean,
right, and that's true. And look at the phenomena of that. Like we look up to them, and here they're depressed, and that tells you that money and fame doesn't really make you a happy person. Because if I was an artist like that, where I was famous and I had money, one of the things would depress me is that I never know who the people are around me. Are they around me because of me or are they around because of my fame? So maybe one of the things is that they always feel that they're not surrounded by people that are genuine or unconditional love, right? So even when you're in a relationship, like for me, I would probably be wondering, like, this relationship, is this person with me because of my name, my title, or are they genuinely in love with me and want to be with them? So that's probably, even though there are people in their life that are genuine, but you can distinguish them.
Yeah.
A lot of these stories you read, like they had a finance person who robbed them or they have a trust issue. And a lot of them come from already background that they were not trust.
Yep.
So they already don't have trust. So I feel like it's true. And then they're bombarded by the culture of drugs and alcohol. So we're not talking that they're depressed because of their situation, but they're also depressed biologically and chemically. And that's probably why they get to the point where they are unhappy with their life. And they're bombarded by no privacy, all the things we want to have. But then when we have it, we become depressed. How fair is life when it comes to these individuals? Because sometimes you feel like it's so unfair. This person just sang one song.
Well, look at you psychoanalyzing Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yes, that's right. But how fair is it? Sometimes I feel like I've studied so hard and I got a doctorate and I studied for 10 years and I didn't do a lot of things in my life because I was trying to study. And then, I make half of what these people make.
But are you happy?
But I'm much happier, yes.
There you go. You're happy. I think that's all that matters.
Really? And then we got someone but here it is, you've worked very hard. It's like fashionistas, come on. I have a friend just opened a restaurant. So he's my friend. He didn't come to say, you know what, Dr. D, I want you to come to the opening because you're going to be there and you probably know a lot of people and that will attract other people. No. He, of course, he invited me because he had to. He invited a fashionista, right, a blogger, whatever you guys call them, that half an hour she took 5,000 KD.
No shit.
I swear.
I'm doing something wrong.
Me too.
I'm doing something wrong.
I didn't even go. I was like, I'm not going. And he's like, why? And I'm like, I don't understand. Here you are. You could be inviting professionals and doctors. And he's like, start laughing. He's like, that's not going to do me any good. What am I going to do with you? And people like that. You come to try the food, no problem. I need the exposure, he says. I was like, seriously? You need the exposure? But he's right. I mean, there are people like half an hour and she doesn't have a college degree. Most of them aren't. And then you think, is this fair? So I say, wow, it's unfair. I spent all this money. I'm in debt. My loan for student loan is still going after 30 years.
Again, I'm throwing the ball in your court. These fashionistas or whatever.
But they're smart.
They're smart. Okay,
they knew how to market themselves.
How sustainable is it?
Now, this is
how sustainable is living that life? You make one wrong move, you're screwed. You're out. And how long is Instagram going to last until the new fad comes up?
Actually, I heard that Instagram is going where they're going to charge you for posting.
Really?
In a couple of 2 to 3 years.
Yeah,
yes.
they do that. I'm off Instagram.
I'm off Instagram. Me too. What are we going to do then if they're going to charge you for? But that's true. How sustainable? So the smart ones Actually,
smart ones such as yourself.
Yeah. So what do? They be able to make money and be able to invest it. So invest it in property, for example. I mean, I'm not a financial person, but my friends who are in finance, they say real estate is the best thing to go, even though some people disagree, or invest it in stocks like in the US. We can do all these stocks. I'm sure here too. But it's true how sustainable it is, but how fair it is. This person, half an hour, she got 5,000. I have to work a month or 2 months before I get that.
But
and I'm a doctor and she's not.
If the formula stays true, right, and say she fails out of it or he fails out of it, right, what's going to happen to them later? They're going to go broke. They'll end up living with their mom again. You know what I mean? Like versus you, myself, where we work jobs that are sustainable till we retire. We work hard. We either save, we invest, we do these things. By the time we reach that age of retirement, we've lived a happy, fulfilled life. Well, personally, I don't give a shit. So like, it's like, I'm not going to care later on. I'm not going to be like, oh, these fashion people, they have to put this persona on all the time.
True. And it's hard work.
It is.
I mean, right now, I have an Instagram and all that, but I feel like it's hard work. To be honest, like whenever I'm thinking, okay, I should do a story. I haven't been on Instagram. That's a responsibility. And sometimes whenever I think my stories are the best when I just do them spontaneously. Like I just decided I went to the office or something happened in my class, I'll say. But oftentimes I don't do a lot. And because I do, and then I have friends that are.
I liked your vacation mode story. It was just a picture of your like vacation mode with your cup of coffee. And I'm like, oh, that's so true.
And that's it. Because I feel like I can see the people that, this is not my mean of income. So for me, it's not the way that a fashionista or a blogger, they have to depend on this. Everywhere they have to go, they have to take a picture. Everything they have to do, it has to be creative so you can attract people. It's a lot of work.
It is.
But on the same time, so should I say, so when I looked at this fashionista and that just took all this money, if you really look at the amount of effort she puts in her Instagram, you realize that she really does a lot of work. Now, if it's hers or marketing, it doesn't matter. And I don't do this much work. Do I say life is unfair? It's not unfair. It's you have to be smart. You have to know how to advertise for yourself, how to market, and you have to be creative. Now, if I don't have all these three variables, which by the way, I don't, to me, it's a lot of work. Instagram, social media, thinking about this. She might think it's a lot of work, but she's so good at it. And so is life unfair? Yeah.
But in reality, does she have the social credit that you do?
Probably not.
No way. We had Adam Schaefer on the Project Kuwait. He said, oh, we got this huge Instagram model. She was going to lay on the bed, basically listening to our episode and whatever. And we were all sitting there waiting for it to hit. She had like 3 million followers or something crazy.
Yeah.
And as soon as she posted crickets, he was like, nothing. Just because it goes to, okay, you're an influencer. You have 2 million followers. But are you really influencing people's lives? Are you influencing to actually buy stuff? I see these influencers all the time. I'm not going to buy the shit they're peddling. You know what I mean?
And it's really giving a message like you have to be attractive, you have to be pretty.
Yeah.
So it's not true. And, going to that, the ideas is that, so my friend, I said, okay, so you brought this blogger. I can understand. People that follow me are people are interested in psychology. So they were not a food thing. For her, maybe. And I said, well, how many of these, so you paid 5,000. I said, how many of her followers, that's what they're trying to do, get her followers to follow their restaurant, right? So I said, how many followers did you follow? They can find, and he's like, we could, for the first 2 weeks, it's fine. He said, after that, they die out. So I'm like, okay, so you just spent all this money. He's like, but that is the trend here.
But how many of those followers bought some food from your restaurant?
Now, see, this one, I don't know.
Say, Dr. D, if you post something and you say, this is brain food, it will make you feel amazing psychologically.
I like this idea.
My dumb ass will go and buy it. Right? Or no, I'll believe in what you're saying. If you say, for instance, I don't know, L-theanine is something that will calm your nerves, or what's it called? Chaga tea. Or something, or chamomile, and you showed a certain brand, and this is what you were drinking, and you're a calm person, you're a psychologist. Me being a loyal follower of you or a friend, so to speak, I would go and try it. In general, when an Instagram person saying, oh, go to this person for marketing advice, and I go to that person's page, the first thing I look at is, okay, well, this person they're sending me to only has 2,000 followers. So he's doing a shit job at marketing himself. And this person's a jerk because they're just getting paid to push me to his page. Some people fall for it because people in masses are idiots. in general. You know what I mean? Like in general, we follow the masses and sometimes it leads us the wrong way, but it's not sustainable. And how many of these followers turn into actual transactions?
Right. But the thing is that what I'm trying to say is that, fine. I mean, you're unhappy with these. First of all, these fashionistas wouldn't be charging this much. We, or whoever's following them, is making them to be that important. And then when you hire them because you're opening a restaurant, because you're saying that this is the trend, which is true, it brings people follow. Even if it's first 2 weeks or 3 weeks, someone probably bought some stuff, or these people wouldn't be doing it, at least restaurant owners. No problem. But the idea is that here we are. I mean, and we're talking about, is life fair? So is it my fault that this person has become this famous? Yes, because I'm following them.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And so is life unfair? She's just smart. She knew what material to put out there. And therefore, I mean, I don't follow any fashionistas at all, but the idea is that there are a lot of young people. I mean, you should talk to my daughter who's 9. She knows most of them. I mean, at least the American ones. And I'm sure that I have a student in my class. Every time I teach about something, she says, "Doctor, you should check this Instagram account." All the time. I mean, the whole class laughs. And every time they look at her and they're like, "What's new?" She knows all these fashionistas. She even knows a lot of these bloggers that talk about relationship because it's a family class. She'll say, "Doc, you should check this Instagram. You should see this thing." So here it is. And then she knows all these bloggers that she knows all their gossip, right? And I'm like, what are you doing listening to these people and you're complaining about them? But the reality of it, they put stuff out there that they know people want to hear. We give them credit. We follow them. And then, of course, so if you have this many followers, you are going to charge half an hour, 3,000 or whatever it is. And the idea is that a lot of these people wouldn't. So when we go back to when people ask me, is life fair? I say life is as fair as you make it.
100%.
So to me, if I sit down and think about how life is unfair, then I'm not doing myself any good. It's just putting me down. It's making me feel sorry for myself. And it's making me justify karma and how bad things are going to happen to people that have done me bad. I mean, of course, I love the way people like they've done me bad and I'm like, what goes around comes around. I mean, do we really say that because it makes us feel good? Of course. Now, do things, what goes around comes around? Of course, in psychology, we don't believe in that. And we don't, but
I believe in it.
well, and a lot of people, I do. I believe in it,
Like,
obviously. But there's
really
no
believe
factual things.
There
that
isn't.
says,
There's no facts. You're right.
Because I'm sure there were good things that happened to these people that did me bad, and I didn't even listen to it. But as soon as one bad thing happened to them, automatically I say what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
But bad things can happen to me, and I don't say what goes around comes around. So it's like the idea is that whatever you feel as perception. So when clients come to me and say, life is unfair. Why does my mom like my brother more than me? It's unfair. You know, why does your mom like your brother more than you? I don't know. There's no answer to that. And is life unfair? Yeah, it's unfair. And yes, should parents like one person more than the other? No. But we do. We like the child that's closer to our personality. We like the child that's easier. We like the children that are independent and can do things without us constantly. And the other ones, because they make us work hard for our money. Yeah, but oftentimes life is not fair and it's okay.
We got to talk about that with parenting and like being a spiteful parent after your kid like it drains you for so many years. Though. That's a whole episode on it.
It's true. We should talk about that.
Usually they call me the pot stirrer on the other show. You did a good job at that today.
Yeah.
And it was good. I'm glad we both disagree. You think life is unfair. I think life's fair. I think
life is not supposed to be fair. I truly believe that. If I believe that life is unfair, then I can at least accept all the unfairness that comes along with life. But if you continue to believe that life is supposed to be fair, so the unfairness that comes along by living this life, you're not going to be able to accept it, which creates a lot of other situations or depression or whatever you want to call it. So to me, it's unfair and I'm okay with unfair and it's not supposed to be fair and I'll deal with it.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to debate you on that. You're a psychologist. I'm not.
How is it going to go?
all I can
You're
say
supposed to argue with me. I'm feisty.
Look, honestly, all I could say is life is fair for the simple point of it is what I made it. I don't look at it. I can't look at life saying, oh, he's a millionaire by the age of 36 and I'm just living a normal life with a normal job and whatever. I don't think it's unfair. Like, good for him. Like, life's fair. Whatever he did is friggin' working for him. Good for him.
But it still is unfair that he has money and that you don't. But
no, I don't care. The guy who does me wrong, on the other hand, say someone does something that affects me. Okay. And then they go and stub their toe. I'm like, son of a bitch, got what he deserved. And that's my rationale of life is fair because it came around and got him eventually.
Right.
And I've seen it enough times in life personally, totally personally, where I'm like, yeah, life's fair. He did me wrong and he got screwed later on. He got tenfold. It's like giving a person who lives on the street $10 and then going and winning $1,000 on a scratch ticket. And that's happened to me.
Oh, really?
Twice.
Wow.
Twice. In all honesty, that's happened twice. I swear to God. That's maybe why I have that perception.
Playing any of this scratch. I don't play scratch. I don't play Lotto.
I love scratch tickets.
Look, I have me too, but I don't play it anymore. Or I buy one. I give it to my nephews whenever I'm in the U.S. or my kids. Because truly, I believe nothing is going to happen to me by luck. I just know it. And maybe that's a self-fulfilling. That's why I'm not winning. I just know I'm going to work hard the rest of my life. But I'm okay with that because I know that I'm a hard worker and I'm going to be okay. So there are other people just sitting around waiting for this lotto to happen. I mean, it's like 0.00. What's the percent? 0.005?
It's not even, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of zeros and 5.
Good luck.
So good luck. So I feel like I'm not going to sit around and wait because that is not going to happen to me. I might win $1 here, $2 there, but it seems to me my path is not.
I hope you win the Donna account. And if you win the Donna account, you owe me like 5%. Just give me 5%. If you win the big Donna, give me 5%.
But I'm with a different bank. That doesn't do that.
All right.
But our bank has it too. Joe had it. That's right.
So then in that case, give me 5% because I'm wishing good karma on you.
When does, good. Wish. That's true. I'll share with you. I share with people I care about.
I have that on the record. So.
You do.
It's recorded.
That's very true.
All right. Well,
and then you'll say, life is unfair, but it happens. It's fair.
I would be happy for you. I'd be very happy for anyone around me that had won money or anything. I don't think I would ever say, oh, that's so unfair. If I truly loved that person and cared about them and I was like, oh, that's awesome. I'd be very happy for them versus other people who are like, oh, that asshole. I mean, it sucks.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So, I mean, I think we're disagreeing to agree because what you're saying is that life is fair and whatever happened should happen and I should not complain about it. I'm saying life is unfair and it's okay. And I'm okay with life being unfair. Sometimes it's fair to me and sometimes it's not fair to me. And I'm okay with that. So I think it depends on your perspective, right? And I feel like the more you realize if life is unfair, not to sit there and feel sorry for yourself because life is unfair, but to realize it's unfair. And there are going to be times where life is fair to me though.
Yeah.
And there's times life is unfair to me. So it's all right.
Yeah, no, that's a good summary
I
of the whole
feel like
show.
it's good. Yeah, it's right. Good.
All right.
Life is unfair.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed it, please head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. You can also find us on Instagram at The Project Kuwait. Thank you, and join us next time.